begin tonight with a look at the current weather radar and what could be in store later tonight with severe storms. Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Abby Hollinsworth.
And I'm Hallie McPherson. OU Nightly meteorologist Brendan Jackson has the details on what parts of the state could be affected. Brendan?
Yeah, we've seen those severe risks over much of the center of the country over the last couple days, and they're not really going away anytime soon. Now let's take a look at what we're looking at for this afternoon and later into the evening. The Storm Prediction Center outlook has the worst risk down here across Arkansas, but here in Oklahoma, we are still in a slight risk for the southeast part of the state, moderate risk for right around the OKC metro. Now let's take a look at the current radar. A lot of pop-up showers just over much of the northern parts of the state. Just going to be kind of some drizzle, not a whole lot besides that. A lot of cloud cover. Over the last couple days, we've seen a lot of rain, however. Over 1.5 inches here around the metro, over 1.5 inches here down in the southern or southeastern part of the state, I should say, as well. Now, later in the show, I'll be talking about how long that rain's going to stick around for, as well as what severe risk we could see over the next couple days.
Thanks, Brendan. Former NCAA swimmer Riley Gaines visited OU Wednesday night, sparking both support and protests over her stance on transgender athletes in women's sports. OU Nightly's Emma McAndrews is live outside of Dale Hall with the story.
It was a packed house inside with most in support of Riley Gaines. Outside, protesters did gather, but things stayed pretty calm. The conversation, however, about transgender athletes in sports is not going away.
Every seat inside Dale Hall was filled as Riley Gaines took the stage, greeted by applause. OU women athletes were invited to the event, and ones that attended were seen sitting front row.
Again, this crusade you mentioned, it's a crusade that is for something. I'm not standing against anything. My stance is very much one that is rooted in, again, being pro rather than anti-something, anti-trans, anti-whatever. I'm very much pro-woman. I'm pro-reality. I'm pro, again, parental rights. I'm pro-safety.
Gaines, a former swimmer at the University of Kentucky, shared her experience competing against transgender athlete Leah Thomas, arguing for sex-based divisions in sports. And from the reaction inside, most people agreed.
But we need to have these serious talks because the topic of transgenderism and men in the women's locker room is no joke, and it needs to be discussed. And this is about the women's safety and just common sense, frankly.
But not everyone was on board. Right outside Dale Hall, protesters gathered holding signs and pushing back against her message.
I believe that we should exclude anybody. This country has been based on inclusion, and we're at a point now where we're excluding this group and that group. So I have to come out and support the transgender, the gay youth, everyone.
Even with differing opinions, the event stayed peaceful, with police on hand who then escorted Gaines out of Dale Hall to her car. However, still lingering is the debate about transgender athletes in women's sports.
Students here on campus are still discussing the impact of her visit. Reporting live outside of Dale Hall, I'm Emma McAndrews, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Emma. Gaines' next stop is the University of Arizona.
University officials confirm pest control crews retreated a bed-bug-infested hall in the David L. Boren dorms on campus today. OU Nightly's Olivia Hayes is live in the newsroom with the latest on the situation.
Abby, Emma, OU Nightly obtained an audio where we hear one resident's plea to OU's Director of Residence Life, Mason Barker. Take a look also at this photo from just this morning. Now, we're not releasing the audio to protect that student's identity. Barker says in the audio, though, that an outside laundry service is coming in to help the girls wash and dry their items. Residents will also receive 100 Sooner Sense credits to use on campus. Tuesday, affected residents were told temporary housing would be provided. We've since learned from that audio they are now being asked to submit a housing transfer request instead. Ladies, back to you.
Thank you, Olivia. In a statement to OU Nightly, the university says the treatment used takes up to 14 days to reach maximum effectiveness.
President Donald Trump's 25%
kinda
tariffs
blinked
on
'cause I was
all vehicles
confused.
imported into the U.S. is now in effect. It comes a day after the president announced history-making new tariffs Wednesday. CNN's Amy Kiley explains what it could mean for Americans' wallets.
President Donald Trump is imposing a 10% tariff on imports from all countries, plus higher rates for Cambodia, Vietnam, China, the European Union, and more. Here are 5 ways experts say Americans might feel the impact. 1. Higher prices.
It's thousands of dollars. We're talking at least 2% of the median household income that this will cost American households.
Most economists predict U.S. businesses that pay the tariffs will pass on some or all of the costs to consumers. The Trump administration downplays that.
The businesses don't have to pass them on, or the producers in the other countries can eat the tariffs.
2. An economic slowdown.
What you're seeing here is a potential haircut to GDP for 2025 of about 3%.
JP Morgan predicts a global recession if Trump maintains his tariffs. Economists say a 1930 trade war deepened the Great Depression.
We know what happened in 1929, 1930 in the crash.
Trump supporters note other countries don't have to retaliate.
They're going to bring their tariffs down because they need the U.S. to be active trading partners.
3. Blows to retirement funds if the stock market doesn't fully rebound. 4. High interest rates if the Federal Reserve sees too much inflation. And 5. Growth for some domestic manufacturers. Economists say they're the biggest winners under Trump's tariffs.
We have to save the people in the industries of the United States.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Tariff supporters say the U.S. is one step closer to reducing its trade deficits.
At the closing of stocks today, we see how much President Trump's new tariffs are affecting those numbers.
Taking a look at all 3 of those U.S. major markets, you can see they ended the day in red with a sharp decline in all 3 markets.
Our Clay Webster has more on those stocks breakdown, as well as the hit on the global economy from today's news center. Clay?
Markets are tanking around the world today as a result of President Trump's sweeping tariffs. In the U.S., the Dow Jones is down over 1,600 points, and the NASDAQ has plunged over 5%, the lowest it's been since March 2020. Overseas, Japan's Nikkei and Europe's Stock 600 indexes are both down over 2.5%. Analysts from JP Morgan are warning of a possible global recession. Canada is retaliating against the U.S. with a matching 25% tariff on vehicle imports. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney announced the tariff today, which affects vehicles that are not compliant with the U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement. This is the first retaliatory tariff from a major U.S. trade partner in response to President Trump's sweeping Liberation Day tariffs. And automaker Stellantis is laying off 900 U.S. employees. The layoffs come after the company paused production at several Canadian and Mexican assembly plants because of the new vehicle tariffs. The impacted U.S. employees produce parts that are assembled at the foreign plants, resulting in their temporary layoffs. United Auto Workers Union President Shawn Fain says, quote, "These layoffs are a completely unnecessary choice." And the Inspector General of the Department of Defense is evaluating Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth's use of the app Signal to discuss sensitive national security information. Abby, Hallie, back to you.
Thanks, Clay. The measles investigation continues on as a confirmed local case hits Oklahoma.
Find out where and when the contagious virus was exposed, and the Food and Drug Administration is putting a ban on certain products geared towards minors.
Find out how the Supreme Court is regulating some companies to keep minors safe.
Even the mighty might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Tonight for families who visited an Oklahoma City hospital over concerns to exposure to measles. OU Nightly's Kariana Gamboa has what the hospital is saying about the risk in today's Health Beat.
Hallie, that possible exposure happened at the Oklahoma Children's Hospital in Oklahoma City last week. Here's what we know from OU health officials. The individual was contagious while at the hospital on March 23rd and was reportedly around the main lobby, in the elevators, and in the emergency room area. The hospital says they are working to contact anyone who could have been exposed.
People know about, because measles kind of can hang in the air for 2 hours. So if someone does not have an immune system, or if someone has not been vaccinated, 9 out of 10 of those people will become infected with measles.
Anyone who was at the hospital during the time frame is encouraged to fill out a measles contact form on the State Department Health's website. Right now, Oklahoma has 10 reported cases of measles, 8 confirmed and 2 probable. The U.S. Supreme Court rules the FDA can keep certain flavored vaping products off store shelves. The ruling comes after the FDA refused to grant approval for the sale of certain vaping products, claiming they're marketed toward children. An appeals court will now review the case for approval. Vaping companies will also be able to reapply for FDA approval of the products. And I'm sure you've heard of the saying, sitting is the new smoking. Health experts say walking, specifically stair climbing, can reduce the risk of dying of heart disease by as much as 39%. Abby, Hallie.
Thanks, Kariana. Well, it's safe to say Thunder fans are okay with how OKC is sitting pretty at the top of the Western Conference.
Later in sports, we have more on the historic season the Thunder is having. OU Nightly was at the game last night. Don't go anywhere.
And I'll be talking more about the severe weather chances and rain chances over the next couple days coming up next.
Love the hustle, Cliff. Who are you?
Your lungs.
We're quite proud of you.
Even though you quit smoking years ago, you may be at risk for lung cancer.
Okay. Well, with the routine screening, you can detect it early when it's more curable.
Sounds good, guys. Can I get a little space here?
Biologically, no.
Okay.
Listen to your lungs. Get a routine screening that could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere. And just growing up the way I grew up, and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
Oh, right. Look at you taking the stairs. Who are you?
We're your lungs.
We are proud of you for quitting smoking, but you still may be at risk for lung cancer.
A routine cancer scan can detect it early when it's more curable. Good to know. Well, I gotta go somewhere.
So do we.
So do we.
Listen to your lungs. Get a routine screening that could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
And welcome back to OU Nightly. Let's take a live look outside right now at the current conditions. 52 degrees, pretty cool right now. Very humid, humidity 77 degrees. We see all those clouds out there on the horizon, a product of that very, very moist air. And that moist air is popping up some showers around the area right now. Taking a look at this, the live radar, a couple showers, especially up to the north and east. Not a whole lot around Norman, but some on and off rainfall. We're going to see that. Now, hourly rain chances, not a whole lot for the rest of the afternoon, but moving into the AM hours overnight, we're going to see those rain chances bump up again, and that's where we're looking at the chance for a little bit more severe weather. The Storm Prediction Center outlook just putting us in that marginal region, so something to keep an eye on as we move later into tonight. Now, looking at our futurecast, we're going to see those showers and thunderstorms moving into the area in the overnight and early morning hours tomorrow morning. And now that's going to move out as we move into tomorrow afternoon and evening. Those clouds sticking around, but another bout is coming our way, much from the same direction Saturday morning. So that's going to be something else to keep an eye on too. The Storm Prediction Center also keeping an eye on that. Tomorrow, we're looking at another severe risk, mostly centered down to our south and east, a moderate risk down here across Arkansas and up the Mississippi Valley. That's going to be something to keep an eye on. All manner of severe weather is possible with that. Now, the next day, Saturday, much of the same area is going to be in that region as well, an enhanced risk being issued. We're going to keep an eye on that as well, because if some more moisture gets pulled up from the Gulf, we could see that risk move a little bit further north. Now, let's take a look at what's actually causing this all to happen, because all these risks are kind of in the same place. We're seeing this upper level low centered over here across the desert Southwest. That's going to just kind of sit there, and it's going to cut itself off from the main jet stream up here to the north. Now, this is kind of what we call a blocking pattern. It just kind of sit here for a couple days and spin around, pull moisture up from the Gulf, bring it up here into the southern plains and up the Mississippi Valley. And that's why we're going to see just this kind of region of rain, showers, thunderstorms kind of sitting in the same place. And that's not going to move out until the weekend. What's going to move into Oklahoma is going to be some much cooler conditions, though maybe the chance for snow Sunday. We're going to keep an eye on that as we move into the weekend. Bringing it back to today, though, overnight tonight, low of 48 degrees, relatively mild. Tomorrow, going to be very mild again. All that moisture keeping our temperatures kind of down, 55 degrees here, 50s across much of Oklahoma, much warmer down here. We're going to see that extra energy for those showers and thunderstorms. Now, looking at the next 7 days, we're going to see those temperatures drop down over the weekend, that rain chance move in. Then by the time next week comes around, we're going to see those temperatures start moving up into the 60s and 70s, and that sun's finally going to come back.
That's nice. I know yesterday was super warm, but the next couple of days we're going to still be stuck with that rain for now.
Unfortunately, yeah, that pattern's going to stick around for a little while, a couple days at least, but hopefully when it moves out, we're going to see some really nice weather.
Okay, thanks, Brendan. After the break, sports is next.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
Jason, let's go see your room.
That's not right. How was it? Is it good?
not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Hello, I'm Brooke Griggs, and it's time for sports. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the NBA MVP frontrunner-up according to an ESPN poll. But when Drake called, SGA was his first pick to make a cameo in the music video for his new song Nokia. It was released Monday. OU Nightly's Arab Dahu has more.
Who's calling ma? Who's calling ma? Who's calling ma? The OKC Thunder are the ones calling the phone tonight as they called game against the Detroit Pistons, winning 119-103. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, MVP candidate, led the scoring by 33 points, but he thinks it was more of a team effort that came to the double-digit win.
Yeah, every game is an opportunity to learn and get better. And no matter what it looks like, we try to get those 2 things out of the games, whether it's a win or a loss. And I always say, like, every game's going to look different. Every game's going to present us different challenges. It's how we go about them. And being able to adapt on the fly and come out on the winning side of the challenges is a good habit to create.
Get some stops and then, a good execution down the stretch in that part of the game when things stall. And you got to just execute in the half court in that area of the game and hold a lead, not turn it over. I thought for the most part we were really good there.
Another double-digit win. That makes 50, tying the record in the NBA for the most in a season. Reporting from the Paycom Center, Arab Dahu, OU Nightly.
OU softball's game against St. Thomas in the O'Connor Invitational, originally scheduled for tomorrow, will now take place tonight at 7 p.m. As for now, the schedule remains the same for the rest of the weekend. Oklahoma will play UCF Saturday at 12:30 p.m. And staying on the diamond, OU baseball's Kyson Witherspoon was named to the 2025 Golden Spikes Award mid-season watch list today. The star athlete was also recently named the mid-season top pitcher by D1 Baseball and mid-season pitcher of the year by Perfect Game. Speaking of standout Sooners, OU men's gymnastics newcomer Francisco Velez-Melendez was named the NPSF Freshman of the Year, and for the 2nd year in a row and 16th time overall, Sooner head coach Mark Williams earned Conference Coach of the Year. And if you're an OU fan in need of plans today, OU men's and women's track field began competing at 11 a.m. Volleyball plays UCO at 5:30 p.m., followed by Sooner baseball and men's tennis at 6 p.m. Hallie, Abby.
Thanks, Brooke. Oklahoma City Public Schools is asking the community for help.
Find out how you can make your mark and be a part of the future in OKC in this new contest.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
I'm Elle Gedman with an update on the EF1 tornado that touched down in Owasso on Wednesday morning. New damage numbers from the city show 220 homes were impacted by the storms. 15 of those homes suffered major damage. Emergency management officials say no homes in the area are considered destroyed and no injuries were reported from Wednesday's storms. Abby, Hallie, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Elle. Oklahoma City Public Schools is asking for your help naming their new middle school.
If you have a name suggestion, you can head to their online survey and submit your idea. The school will be at South 25th and High Street.
It's set to open in August of 2026. Okay, I'm submitting Nate Fakin Middle School, okay?
You know what? That is such a good idea. I mean, our sports director, basically an Oklahoma legend.
A living legend for sure.
Yeah, that's a good name.
Yeah. Brendan, have you got an update for us on the weather?
Yeah, we're still looking at much of the same. This evening going to be very, very cloudy. Not really all that nice. Showers kind of moving through the area. Could be interesting for those of you that are going to go to that baseball game tonight. Not going to be a great night for it, but hopefully those showers will hold off for a little bit. We're going to see those showers and thunderstorms going for the rest of the weekend, or at least through Saturday. Sunday morning we could see some more stuff. Luckily next week is going to be really, really nice. So if you've got some plans to go outside, do some fun stuff, I'd say save it for next week.
Thanks, Brendan. And thank you for watching OU Nightly. I'm Abby Hollinsworth.
And I'm Hallie McPherson. Be sure to watch OU Nightly live on weekdays at 4:30.
Love the hustle, Cliff. Who are you?
Your lungs.